The episode begins in the independent trade city Houseman, where a buyer tries to threaten a seller, but a female knight takes control of the situation. Suddenly, she notices a man who used to be a knight in the past has gone berserk, destroying everything. It is revealed that her name is Cecily Campbell, and she's the knight of the independent trade city's 3rd district. She orders the berserker to put down his weapon and surrender, but he ignores her and continues his rampage. Afterwards, he attacks her with a sword and easily overwhelms her. Cecily gets afraid as she has never been in a real fight before. However, she musters up the courage and attacks him with her sword. Much to her surprise, the berserker slices her sword in half and she loses her spirit. He is about to kill her, but a young man interrupts the battle and slices his sword in half. He notices that the berserker is a survivor of war, while a mysterious man in a black veil observes them. The berserker gets arrested, and Cecily shows her gratitude towards the young man for saving her life. It is revealed that his name is Luke, and he walks away with a short girl named Lisa. During their walk, he tells her that Cecily should give up being a knight because she has no skills. Lisa tells him to attend the meeting, but he goes the other way and skips it. Later, Cecily visits a blacksmith to repair her sword. Unfortunately, he tells her that it can't be repaired by an ordinary blacksmith. There used to be a blacksmith who could hammer cut swords a long time ago, but nowadays it's hard to find one. Cecily reveals that her sword is precious to her, and the blacksmith gives her the address of Luke's house. Later, she visits Luke and Lisa, which surprises them. She thanks him for saving her life, and he tells her that his full name is Luke Ainsworth. She requests him to make her a sword similar to his, but Luke arrogantly denies it. It is revealed that Luke is an expert in forging a katana, but he has stopped taking orders for a long time. Nonetheless, Cecily informs him that she became a knight 1 month ago. Moreover, the House Campbell has been an integral part of the city since the Devil Contract War. Her father died a month ago, and as the head of her family, she wants to be a successful knight and fight with a katana. Despite her strong motivation, Luke rejects her request. In the next scene, we see an old man talking about treasure with the man in the black veil. Later, Luke, Cecily, and Lisa come across mutants being controlled by someone. To prove her worth, Cecily foolishly attacks the mutant and falls, but Luke saves her again. He easily kills the mutants with his katana, but suddenly an ice demon shows up on the battlefield. Luke notices that the demon is the result of a devil contract and fights it. His katana breaks and Cecily steps up to buy him some time for forging. Afterwards, he forms a katana in seconds with assistance from Lily. Luke orders Cecily to stay back and her sword gets broken. Afterwards, he rushes at the ice demon with his burning katana and lands a blow. Cecily gets shocked by the uniqueness of his katana, to which Lily replies that he used an old age technique. Consequently, a katana is stronger and sharper than conventional mass-produced swords. The ice demon evolves and becomes bigger, which causes Luke to retreat. However, he narrowly dodges the attack and places himself in the line of fire to create an opportunity. After marking the distance between himself and the enemy, he slices the demon in half. Cecily praises his remarkable katana, but it breaks down and vanishes away. Luke tells Cecily that she'd have to pay for his labor, to which she replies positively. She gets embarrassed and involuntarily smacks Luke. The next day, she apologizes to him and informs him that someone else was involved in yesterday's incident. Lisa reminds him to attend the meeting, but he decides to skip it again because of his condition. In the next scene, we see Hugo Houseman, the mayor of the city, in a meeting with representatives of the 3 nations of the city. Houseman apologizes for the absence of Luke and Siegfried. A commander reveals that a devil's contract was established in yesterday's incident. They suspect it is an omen indicating that a Valbenil is incoming and they must ensure it doesn't happen. The scene then shifts to Commander Hannibal Quasar, who finds a survivor of yesterday's incident. He reveals that the bandits were giving drugs to control the mutants by a man in a black veil. Moreover, he reveals he turned their boss into a devil and ran away, which surprises Hannibal. Suddenly, an insect comes out of the survivor's mouth, and Hannibal kills it. Later, Luke forges steel with Lisa while Cecily observes them. Afterwards, she praises his skill, but Luke arrogantly informs her he was preparing a kitchen knife only. He reveals that a katana is produced after going through different procedures. Luke tells Cecily that women are usually forbidden inside the smithy, but Lisa is special and his assistant. In the next scene, we see the berserker in prison while the man in the black veil plots something. Later, Cecily begs Luke to forge a katana for her, and he agrees. However, he informs her that he'd charge her a hefty price, which annoys Cecily. Since she is unable to pay the price, he denies to forge her a katana. Later, Cecily meets Hannibal and Houseman, who introduce her to another girl. Cecily meets a girl named Arya, and Houseman states her mission is to guard her, and Cecily takes her to Luke. Later, Arya notices that the area around Luke's house is rich in spirit entities. Afterwards, Arya recites an incantation and transforms into a demon sword. Luke notifies that in reality, the demon sword has adopted a human form, which is quite rare. Cecily picks up the sword and reveals it can produce wind as well. Luke believes the demon sword dwells in an unknown power to produce wind. Cecily tells Arya to transform into her previous human state. According to Luke, the demon sword can make countries wage war against each other. He wonders why such a precious item was entrusted to Cecily. She informs him that no one can identify Arya as a demon sword in the human state. In the next scene, Hannibal informs the knights that the enemy will come after the demon sword. Above all, the chances of the enemy performing a devil's contract within the city are extremely high. He orders them to be afraid of death and stand up to it as well. He believes it'll be their greatest weapon in a fight against the devils. It is revealed that Hannibal is a veteran of the last war and played a crucial role. In the next scene, we see Cecily treating Lisa and Arya to a feast. Cecily asks Lisa if Luke is going to the market next week, to which she replies positively. She accidentally spills out that Luke's been looking for a sword that can kill God. Later, Arya notices that the smell of death is absent in this town, and it is quite peaceful. She reveals that she has been passed through many different hands over the years. Cecily asks Arya about her age, to which she replies that she's somewhere between 40 and 50. She was born during the Valnabil War in the middle of the battlefield. She is unaware of her origin, and the humans who knew about her abilities went into a frenzy to steal from each other. Cecily feels bad for Arya and promises to protect her forever. In the next scene, the trio meets Patty in the library. She hands Cecily a sword with an unusual shape and a false edge suitable for her. Suddenly, Reginald, a knight who looks down upon Cecily, arrives and mocks her. He shows them his big sword called Zweihander, as he believes a knight's intention should be to kill the enemy. Arya reveals her previous master's personality was similar to Reginald, and he died with his heart filled with despair. Suddenly, prisoners attack the city, and Commander Hannibal issues an emergency order. He orders Cecily to stay behind and protect Arya. It is revealed that the prisoners have been forced to swallow a bug, and when it enters their bodies, it attacks the brain, turning them into a puppet. Houseman suspects that the man in the black veil is responsible for the havoc in the city. Later, Cecily goes out to protect the city and notices that the man in black fleeing with the berserker. However, a prisoner attacks her, but she hesitates to kill him. Consequently, Reginald slays the enemy and Arya consoles Cecily. Later, the man in the black veil prepares to form a devil's contract with the berserker. Cecily practices honing her sword skills early in the morning as Arya observes her. Arya tells Cecily her wind would be wonderful if she becomes her master. Cecily asks Arya to form a friendship with her, and she agrees. In the next scene, Houseman and Hannibal decide to put the demon sword on display. However, Houseman believes that the devils might rampage, and that's why precautionary measures should be taken. Cecily overhears their conversation, and Hannibal appoints her to perform the demon sword demonstration that will be held during tomorrow's auction. Later, she visits Luke to seek advice about the demonstration. She believes she would have to expose Arya to danger if she performs the demonstration. However, Luke suggests Cecily she should protect her loved ones all her life. Later, she informs Arya about tomorrow's demonstration, but it's revealed that she knows about it already. Furthermore, Arya tells Cecily that she has faith in her. That's why she's not worried at all. The scene then shifts to the man in black veil, who hypnotizes the berserker to retrieve the demon sword. The next day, we see Luke and Lisa roaming the market, but they're unable to find anything. On the other hand, Cecily mentally prepares herself for the demonstration, and Hannibal wishes her good luck. Later, Cecily confidently performs the demonstration and notices the berserker in the crowd. He transforms into a fire devil, but the spirit prayer squad uses magic and prevents him from attacking. Much to their surprise, the devil breaks the magic and attacks everyone. Cecily falls, and he manages to retrieve the demon sword. Luke and Lisa arrive on the battlefield, and Cecily requests him to help Arya, but he denies it. Afterwards, she states that she'll offer him everything she has if he helps her, and Lisa backs her up. Luke finally agrees. However, the flames of the fire devil can melt iron. Therefore, he can only manage to rob him of his flames and orders Cecily that she'll deliver the finishing blow. Afterwards, Luke and Lisa forge a special katana. He warns Cecily that she'll only get one chance to deliver the final blow, and if she fails, she'll die. Luke cuts the right hand of the fire devil, and Cecily grabs the flaming demon sword. She launches a powerful wind attack and pierces the heart of the fire devil. In the aftermath, the man in the black veil manages to escape successfully. However, it is revealed that the name of the berserker was Jack Strader. Later, Cecily decides that she'll continue to escort Arya from now on, which makes her emotional. Lisa wakes up early in the morning and notices that the weather is quite lovely. It is revealed that she works hard daily, and the other women praise her efforts. Consequently, the people of the village give her a lot of gifts, and she returns to her home. She begins preparing breakfast for Luke and wakes him up. After finishing breakfast, Lisa asks him if he decided to prepare a katana for Cecily, to which he replies negatively. He calls Cecily an incompetent knight, but Lisa backs her up. Afterwards, she assists Luke in forging different blades. In the next scene, Cecily and Arya join them for lunch. Cecily reveals that she is off duty today, and Luke says he'll only forge a katana for her if she pays him. She tells him she'll be able to pay the price once she gets promoted. However, Luke asks her if she knows anything about katanas, to which she replies negatively. Being short on both experience and knowledge, she decides to study katanas. Afterwards, she asks Luke about the devil's contracts. It is revealed that unlike prayer contracts, which use black sand steel as a catalyst, a devil's contract uses human flesh and blood. A devil's contract is a phenomenon where spirit entities in the air feed on the body, turning it into a devil. During the Valnabil War 44 years ago, these devils were unleashed on the battlefield. Naturally, the offered flesh cannot ever go back to normal, and a sacrifice is required. In the last days of the war, devils from unknown countries were all jumbled together. Death words are written in the heart through a forbidden incantation engraved there. They are engraved on everyone's heart, and there are different ways to read them. By administering anesthesia to people with a prayer contract, cutting open their chest and copying down their death words, or reflecting them in a mirror. Then the people are made to read them, coercing them into a devil's contract. However, these contracts are forbidden, and Luke believes anyone who is involved in devil's contracts should be killed. Later, Lisa tells Cecily that she has only 3 sets of the same clothes. In the next scene, Cecily takes Lisa to the market and treats her to delicious food. Luke gets annoyed as Cecily scolds him for the unfair treatment of Lisa. It is revealed that Luke took her in and she's not his relative. Nonetheless, Cecily tells him to show a little more concern for Lisa and pay her a good wage. Later, they visit a clothing shop and Luke decides to pay for Lisa. She tries on different clothes and later thanks him. While returning, Lisa tries to make him happy, but Luke shows no concern. Suddenly, she stops and asks him if she looks good in her new attire. Luke doesn't say anything and gives her a hat, which goes well with her outfit. Lisa gets overwhelmed with happiness and begins crying. Cecily and Arya meet 3 unknown enemies disguised in black cloaks. A fight ensues and one of the unknown enemies removes Cecily's disguise. Cecily gets overpowered by her and Arya offers to use her as a demon sword. Arya transforms into a demon sword and the enemy orders Cecily to hand the sword over. She launches a wind attack on the wall to show her strength. However, much to her surprise, the enemy also uses her demon sword and shoots a powerful attack on Cecily, but she blocks it. It is revealed that the name of the enemy is Doris, and she is one of the squires of Lady Charlotte. She wields the demon sword of Earth called Claymore. In the next scene, a short girl named Charlotte E. Firevisher visits Luke's house and meets him. Luke notices the E in her name stands for the Empire, and she came from there. Charlotte informs him that he's been summoned by the Empire and she came to get him. However, Luke coldly denies the offer and she threatens to take him by force. She tells him that her companions are out there trying to retrieve the Wind Demon sword. The scene then shifts to the battlefield where Cecily manages to scratch Doris's face. However, she uses an attack that collapses the ground. In the next scene, Charlotte's other companion, Evadne, transforms into the demon sword of Black Flame. She launches an attack at Luke, but he easily defeats her with his katana. Charlotte reveals that she has a dire need for him in the Wind Demon sword. Later, Cecily manages to escape from the hole in the ground and defeats Doris. However, the second girl named Margot removes her cloak and attacks Cecily with her demon sword of red light called Rambaya. Cecily doesn't give up and begins overpowering her in their fight. Suddenly, the third girl, named Penelope, interrupts the fight and Cecily launches a wind attack at her. Much to her surprise, she absorbs the attack with her demon sword of demon slaying, the Balak knife. The battle turns into a physical brawl and Cecily punches her in the stomach. At the same time, Margot and Doris attack her, but she dodges them. She falls into a 3 versus 1 situation and loses the battle. However, Luke arrives on the battlefield and again saves Cecily, but she faints. Later, she apologizes to Houseman for causing trouble. Lisa reveals that she used the prayer contract with the help of Luke to fix her wounds. Charlotte introduces herself to Cecily and informs everyone about why she came to the city. She requests to hand over the Wind Demon Sword and invites Luke. However, Houseman denies her request as he first wants to verify her authenticity. Charlotte shows him a sword that is allowed to be kept by the members of the imperial family only. She reveals that her mother was a mere citizen and she won the affection of the imperial majesty. However, she ended up being driven from the court by the bitterly jealous queen. Consequently, if the imperial majesty acknowledges Charlotte, she'll be able to return to the empire with her mother. Houseman decides that he'll inspect the authenticity of her sword and she agrees. Houseman tells Charlotte to leave the 4 demon swords with him and she decides to live with Cecily. Later, they enjoy a feast and all the expenses are put on the tab of House Campbell. Will Luke finally form a katana for Cecily? Who is this man in black veil? Let us know in the comments what you guys think and we'll find out in the next episodes. As always, thanks for watching. Drop us a like, share it with your otaku friends, and subscribe to Annie Recapped to find more awesome anime like this to watch on your feed. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!